In the flickering candlelight of the Imperial Palace's secret chamber, Empress Modena sat motionless, her delicate fingers tracing patterns on the ancient marble table. The air was thick with tension as her trusted advisor, Amelia, carefully unfolded a weathered parchment bearing the imperial seal. "Your Majesty," Amelia whispered, her voice trembling. "The reports from the northern provinces are worse than we feared." The Empress's eyes, once vacant, now sharpened with unexpected clarity. Beyond the chamber's heavy curtains, shadows moved in ways shadows shouldn't, carrying whispers of conspiracy through the palace's forgotten passages. Royce Melbourne melted into the darkness of Aquesta's bustling marketplace, his dark cloak making him nearly invisible against the evening shadows. Hadrian Blackwater, his partner, maintained a more visible presence, casually leaning against a merchant's stall while keeping watch. Their target, a seemingly innocent spice merchant, had been making suspicious deliveries to the palace. As they tracked his movements, neither thief suspected that they were being manipulated into a game far larger than a simple heist. The merchant's latest shipment contained something that would shake the foundations of the empire itself. The discovery in the merchant's ledger changed everything. As Royce decoded the hidden messages, his usually stoic expression cracked with concern. The cipher revealed a plot that reached into the highest echelons of power, with tendrils spreading through every noble house in Aquesta. But before he could share his findings with Hadrian, the night erupted in chaos. Steel clashed against steel, and shadows came alive with deadly purpose. As arrows whistled through the air, Royce realized with growing dread that someone had anticipated their every move. The last page of the ledger, clutched in his hand, contained a symbol he'd hoped never to see again. One that spoke of ancient magic and forgotten powers stirring once more. The morning fog clung to the ancient trees as Royce and Hadrian guided their horses along the winding road to Aquesta. The autumn air carried whispers of magic, remnants of the old world that seemed more alive with each passing mile. Their unlikely companion, the young noble Arista, maintained her composure despite the hardships of travel, though her eyes betrayed a growing unease. As they passed through small villages, locals whispered of strange occurrences, shadows moving against the wind and ancient stones glowing in the moonlight. The trio's journey took an unexpected turn when they discovered a merchant's caravan ransacked by what appeared to be no ordinary bandits. Among the scattered goods, Royce found peculiar markings that made even his seasoned hands tremble. Their path led them to the ruins of an ancient elven watchtower, where they sought shelter from an approaching storm. Within its weathered walls, Arista's magical sensitivity revealed hidden glyphs that pulsed with forgotten power. Hadrian's military experience recognized the strategic importance of the location, while Royce's keen eyes spotted signs of recent visitors. As they delved deeper into the tower's mysteries, they uncovered a chamber filled with ancient maps and scrolls. But their discovery was interrupted by the arrival of mysterious figures who seemed to know far too much about their mission. The ensuing confrontation left them with more questions than answers, and a growing suspicion that forces beyond their understanding were at work. The final stretch to Aquesta revealed a landscape transformed by political tension. Refugees spoke of increased military presence along the borders, and merchants traded rumors of palace conspiracies. When the trio stopped at the last inn before the capital, they encountered a dying messenger who recognized Arista. With his last breath, he warned of a trap awaiting them in the city. The message was cut short as magic flared, turning his words to ash. That night, as they debated their next move, Royce spotted signals on distant hilltops. Someone was tracking their movement. Dawn brought the glittering spires of Aquesta into view, but the city's beauty couldn't mask the feeling that they were walking into the jaws of a carefully laid trap. As they approached the gates, a royal herald emerged with an unexpected proclamation that made Arista's blood run cold. The grand arena of Aquesta buzzed with anticipation as nobles and commoners alike filled the ancient stone seats. Royce and Hadrian found themselves swept into the pre-tournament preparations, their plans to maintain a low profile crumbling as the city's excitement peaked. The qualifying rounds brought forth warriors from every corner of the empire, each bearing their own secrets and motivations. As Hadrian donned his borrowed armor, the weight of their mission pressed heavily upon him. The afternoon sun caught the golden emblems of the participating houses, casting dancing lights across the arena's sands. When the horn sounded, announcing the first round, Royce noticed something peculiar about the way certain nobles exchanged glances, suggesting layers of intrigue beneath the spectacle. The tournament's intensity grew with each passing round. Hadrian's exceptional swordsmanship drew unwanted attention, particularly from Lady Constance, whose piercing gaze followed his every move. Meanwhile, Royce's investigations in the shadows revealed disturbing patterns. Several favored champions had mysteriously withdrawn, and whispers of ancient prophecy circulated among the temple priests. As the quarterfinals approached, the air grew thick with tension. During a crucial match, Hadrian noticed his opponent's fighting style matched forbidden techniques he'd encountered years ago in distant lands. The revelation sent his mind racing. Even as his body automatically parried the incoming strikes, the semi-finals loomed as Royce uncovered a devastating truth. The tournament was merely a facade, concealing a far more sinister plot. Ancient symbols began appearing around the arena, ones that Hadrian recognized from his father's teachings. Lady Constance's unexpected visit to their quarters brought both answers and dangerous new questions. As Hadrian prepared for what would be his most challenging match, Royce's warning echoed in his mind. The real game isn't being played in the arena. The crowd's roar reached a fever pitch as Hadrian stepped onto the sand, his opponent's armor bearing markings that made his blood run cold. In that moment, he realized they'd walked right into an elaborate trap centuries in the making. The marble halls of the Imperial Palace echoed with secrets as Modena navigated through the labyrinth of political machinations. The young Empress-to-be found herself surrounded by a web of courtiers, each wearing masks of loyalty while harboring their own ambitions. In the flickering candlelight of her chambers, she discovered a cryptic message tucked beneath her pillow, warning of traitors within her inner circle. Meanwhile, Aemilia, her trusted handmaiden, noticed strange patterns in the behavior of the palace guards, particularly during the changing of shifts near the royal treasury. The night grew deeper as both women realized they were being watched by unseen eyes. During the grand feast celebrating the upcoming coronation, Modena's wine steward collapsed after testing her drink. Chaos erupted in the Great Hall as accusations flew between noble houses. Aemilia recognized the poison's effects from her childhood in the apothecary district, but kept this knowledge hidden. As Magnus, the gruff royal protector, increased security, mysterious messages continued appearing throughout the palace. Each note revealed another layer of conspiracy, pointing to an elaborate plot that stretched far beyond mere assassination attempts. The palace's ancient magic began to stir, responding to the growing tension, causing the enchanted tapestries to whisper ancient warnings. As midnight approached, Modena and Aemilia discovered the true extent of the conspiracy. Hidden passages revealed themselves in the palace walls, leading to a secret chamber filled with ancient scrolls and maps. The documents exposed a centuries-old plot involving the Empire's founding families. But before they could fully grasp the implications, footsteps echoed through the passage. Magnus burst in, his sword drawn, but his loyalties unclear. The magical wards of the palace flared to life, bathing the chamber in an eerie blue glow. As the ancient magic intensified, the three stood frozen, each uncertain who to trust, while a shadow moved across the moonlit window behind them.
Thank you for venturing into this realm with me. If you crave more enchanted worlds, mythical battles, and secrets whispered from ancient pages, join the Guild of Storybound Explorers. Subscribe now and ring the bell to unlock every new quest the moment it drops. The next chapter awaits. Will you answer the call?